So, you're someone from the age group of 20 to 30 and you swore you were the main character of your life, and you still are, except instead of relating to characters like Geet from Juppie Met, Lara Jean from To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Regina George from Mean Girls, and for the male audience, Batman from Batman, you relate more to characters like Christine from Ladybird, Fleabag, Charlie from The Perks of Being a Wallflower, or Connell from Normal People. You grow up in delusions, believing you are inherently special, different, not like other girls, that you're destined for something big and extraordinary. Then life hits you with endless cycles of laundry, utensils, rotations of buying groceries, and wondering each time how tomato and onions are in fact expensive. That a simple phone recharge sends you re-evaluating your month's budget. Basically, adulting creeps in, and suddenly living with your parents isn't such a bad idea. The realization that the world doesn't revolve around me really sent me into a phase where I had to sit down and really look at the realities of life and humble myself to a level that I didn't picture myself being in. Suddenly, friends are cutting me off. Suddenly, people are not so available anymore. Suddenly, being sick and on my periods isn't such a big deal, and it's something that just happens to everyone. That my breakdowns aren't really worth noticing, and being alone is just something I have to deal with, whether I like it or not. I realized I grew up a little bit sheltered, and I took all my parents' love and care for me granted. The myth and bubble of romantic love burst almost as soon as it appeared. The knight in shining armor was really just a man trying to find his own way. No one comes to rescue you. No one. After I turned 18, most of my energy went into how I look because that's what got me the attention. And suddenly, I was a blooming butterfly. Instagram was all the rage. Everything looked good on me. I learned how to dress up. I learned how to do my makeup. I was slim, so I never really had to follow a certain diet. Life was easy and validation was flowing. And now I'm almost 23 and I've genuinely never felt so hollow before. Well, naturally, I spent so much time adorning myself that I didn't even like seeing myself without makeup. I didn't like seeing myself raw anymore. And now I find myself growing into a tall child, still needing someone or something to protect me. As a young woman, the realization that men are equally, if not more, misogynistic than they've always been, that trusting men, even your close ones, is a gamble you had to take. That opinions and free speech and empowerment of women only ever existed inside the confines of an all girls English convent school hits you more like a slow boiling water rather than being hit by a truck. The point being, I'm not the main character, and most probably neither are you. 80% of the time, life is just ordinary. No plot twists, no trips to Europe, no pretty privileges. And my life, if I'm being honest, is mostly spent scrolling through reels, sweeping the floor, staring at the ceiling, working on assignments, listening to lectures, and oh, yeah, making tea for the millionth time during the day. But you have to understand whatever I'm saying is not coming necessarily from a negative or a pessimistic point of view. Your life, your movie, your extraordinary moments do exist, except they exist inside the ordinary moments. Isolation helped me find what the core of my being really is. I was so lost and aimless, but being alone and having nothing to do made me realize what I do want to do, where my heart truly lies. It made me take a huge decision in my life, which is to start making my own art, not just copying from Pinterest, but actually start producing art that had meaning. art that comes out of my soul, my imagination, my hands, bearing my heart out on canvas. Isolation gave me a chance to study art history religiously, and the last time I found myself in a similar rut, I opened a YouTube channel that helped a bunch of you feel same. I wouldn't call my isolation a waste. It fuels my creativity and it pushes me to work. Would I rather be popular, not alone, and a main character in everyone's life? Absolutely yes. But I'm trying to make the best out of it, and I truly encourage you, the listener, to do the same. And when you find yourself not being the main character anymore, I hope you see that being off center doesn't mean being insignificant. Sometimes the story is richer when you're just living it.